pull up the face cam real quick. Gotta figure out how to set this up a little better, but this will do. Alright. Welcome in. Weekly stream. I think we're on like a pretty hot streak. I'm keeping us alive today. The other two fellows are busy. Let me just figure this out here real quick. But oh, there we go. Anyways, welcome in. I'm gonna just talk quickly about like 3 buys in Dynasty, and then we're just gonna hop into a Best Ball Mania draft and win $1.5 million really quickly. Let me just make this lighting a little bit better, hopefully. Production value, baby. All right. Anyways, so 3 buys today. Actually, we kind of got one at like each level, which is pretty nice. We'll start out with the most expensive guy, and then we'll go cheaper. I don't know. Maybe this doesn't sound crazy off the start, but Garrett Wilson is like a screaming buy right now to me, and like the more and more I hear about it, the more I want Garrett Wilson, but I mean, there's just so much to dive into to keep it very simple. I mean, this guy has had Chris Streveler throwing him the ball. If you don't know who Chris Streveler is, he's from he's currently a backup quarterback in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada, where I live. Like, he can't even have it. He's not even starting quarterback here. Now, he did win a Grey Cup. That's why he made it to the NFL. So, look, this is who this guy's had throwing him the ball. I mean, it was only like 1 game, but I mean, it sums it up perfectly. Like, Joe Flacco was like Garrett Wilson's best quarterback. I mean, if you go back and look at the one drive that Garrett Wilson and Aaron Rodgers played, I know Aaron Rodgers has the Achilles, but I mean, it was just like masterful. I think Wilson had like 4 catches. It included, kind of like the audible at the line of scrimmage where he just, the DB's playing 10 yards off and Rodgers just slings it out on the line of scrimmage. Just stuff that he would do with Devontae Adams constantly. It looks way too reminiscent of that. But beyond that, like all the metrics, I mean, there's literally no target competition, right? Like Mike Williams is not target competition. I mean, he's always been he's never been a volume guy. Malachi Corley is like a utility guy, and beyond that, there's literally nothing. Tyler Conklin. So, I mean, he's gonna get peppered. He's gonna be the offense. I don't even think Rodgers needs to be like any good. Rodgers just simply needs to be, capable of getting the ball out. Basically, he just needs to be on the field. So, yeah, Garrett Wilson, just an absolute buy. I was listening to Sharps on Establish the Run talk about him. One was like a former scout, but they're more in the analytics department. Basically, they were just pumping up Garrett Wilson and not for their own benefit. They're talking with actual NFL teams or any people within the league, and it's just like Garrett Wilson. It has just been phenomenal. He's kind of just one of those rare cases where it hasn't been there for fantasy, but it truly is not up to him. Let's get a little price check here. Oh my god, my face cam's so small. Give me 1 second. Let's fix this. Alright. Let's check keep trade cut. Let's see where he's currently ranked. In Dynasty Startups, he's going to be going at the 2-3 turn Superflex. In just your average format. But Dynasty rankings. Why is this not showing me the rankings? There we go. So, I mean, he's wide receiver 7. Obviously, it's, you got Puka, who just had the best rookie season. You can't really rank him above there yet. But, I mean, my goodness, like, the thing that sucks like is he is so expensive already. But I mean, truly, as much as I love Amon-Ra St. Brown, Marvin Harrison, Puka, I mean, truly, Garrett Wilson could sneak in this top three within one season. I mean, I know it's hard to picture because he just hasn't been productive for fantasy, but I mean, when the stars align here, he will blow up, and it'll be just too late. So, anyways, that's enough about Garrett Wilson. Just wanted to briefly go over him as kind of like one of these more expensive buys. The next buy is a running back. And let's see. I'm actually pretty interested to see where he is on KTC. Okay, so he's at RB9, Kyren Williams. I know what you're saying. You're listening, like, look at this idiot. He's saying to buy Kyren Williams. I mean, look, the thing is like, he's actually still ranked decently high, but I mean, like, I look at the guys he's above. Like, I don't know. Maybe Pacheco is one of these only guys in this tier that I actually like. Kyren Williams straight up was just putting up CMC numbers, right? We don't need to overthink this. I know that Corum was a good running back. He is older. He should be ready to go in. But, like, he's just not... People seriously think he's going to just take over the job, right? I mean, there's a perfectly fine world here where Kyren Williams gets, you know... He was at, like, 80-something% of snaps last year. He goes down to 60, 65. Maybe he's at, like, 70 to start. Blake Corum comes in and out for his, you know, I don't know, 10 to 15 snaps a game. I just... Talk about overreactions. I mean, you had one of the best... I think he's probably, like, what, number 3 in points per game? Or maybe even higher. He might have been at 2 or 3 for Kyren Williams. I mean, he was just insane. Like, there's really not too much to say here other than the fact that people won't even give up first right now for him. So, like, that's the more important part, right? I don't really care what his KTC value is. Just, it's more of, like, where he aligns against other running backs. You could not get a first for any of these running backs right here, right? You can't even get one for Kyren. I mean, Brooks, you had to pretty much draft from the first, so he, you know, I don't know. I'm not gonna say he's mispriced, but I don't even care if Kyren is not in the Rams in like 2 years. I mean, who cares? He's only 23 years old. Running backs are so fragile, anyways. I mean, if you're gonna have a shot for a guy who's literally plummeting as he has, which is crazy, actually. The market must be coming around on KTC at least, but on everything else, like Underdog, you know, he just keeps on falling and falling, so I'm going to take that with a grain of salt. But if you can just buy Kyren without a first in your league, you should probably look into doing it, right? So maybe you could package, I don't know, a second and like something else, or you could go from like, I know people are in love with Trey Benson, and it's funny because we're going to get into this in a second here with my third buy. But if you could send, like, Trey Benson and, I don't even know, just something on top, like maybe a 2-3 swap to get to Kyren, I don't know. That's a no-brainer to me. I get it if your lineup's in a situation where you just want the younger guy, but, I mean, if you're competing, Kyren Williams is easily the cheapest running back that you can buy to just absolutely dominate. But... with that being said, that's enough on Kyren Williams. You know, I won't try to talk you into him if you don't like him already. James Conner is our third buy. I know. Again, it's gross. We got to realize, we got to put some respect on this man's name. He's been a league winner 3 years in a row. Okay. Does it mean he's going to do it a fourth time? I don't know. But Trey Benson getting drafted there has just, like, absolutely plummeted. James Conner, I know he's old. You know, he just turned 29. But James Conner's been unreal every time he gets out there. I mean, he's a workhorse. Again, third-round running backs are literally no guarantee to get work. Think of, well, I'm not the best comparison, but I like to compare Condre Miller and Trey Benson. Condre Miller was hurt, so we didn't really get to see him chip into Kamara's workload, but like Kamara's not a good running back, you know what I mean? He's just not a good NFL running back. Yes, he can catch passes, he's good for fantasy, but like he sucks as a rusher. And I don't know. I mean, obviously Connor Miller was hurt, but no one else is chipping into his role. Look for similar thing here in James Conner. I don't know. I just don't think Trey Benson is as good as people are saying, especially like where he's going on underdog. He's going like just behind James Conner, and I get it for like the rookie upside, but as far as just like dynasty, we need guys that we can actually throw in our lineup. I mean, he's not free, but like he's ranked beside Nick Chubb, who just had his knee literally blow off his body. Like he's ranked. Look where he's ranked like 4 slots above Jaleel McLaughlin. Like, are you kidding me? You are never gonna be able to start Jaleel McLaughlin this year. You can just mark my word. Also shout out Mostert, who's somehow like this is why we just don't put anything on keep trade cut here. Like you gotta take out the grain of salt. I mean, this is insane. Yeah, I don't know. I'll keep it simple with James Conner. He scores fantasy points. I can guarantee you he's gonna rise in every format before the season. When the reports are going, hey, James Conner's just been rolling out with the ones. RB 14 Trey Benson. It has playing with the 2s and barely touching the field. Again, for his like 10-15 snaps, similar to potentially what Corum could do out the gate. I can just guarantee, like in every format right now, James Conner will outproduce his ADP. The one thing that's like already baked in about his price is the injury risk. He has been injury prone, but like just for little stints as far as, he went on IR for 4 or 5 weeks and then just came back and tore it up again. I don't know. It's already baked into the price, right? Like, again, this guy's, I mean, he's ranked behind, I don't know. I'd rather have him over Chase. I'd rather have him over Chase Brown. I'd rather have him over Tony Pollard, to be quite frank. I don't know. So I just think James Conner is a good buy. If you were watching our last episode, our last stream last week, Dan and I were going over exposures. James Conner is my highest exposure player. So you can see, I mean, at least I'm backing up what I'm saying here for a buy. But, I mean, surely he's so cheap. Probably the best way to try to buy him is to just like, oh my god, if you could just throw McLaughlin. If you could do this and like throw in a third, I mean, I would do that all day. But, I mean, I don't know. There's no way. To me, McLaughlin's, he's not a waiver wire player, but he, like, I don't know how you can get a pick for him or anything more than a 4 for him. Maybe someone will throw a 4 for him, but I don't know. If you do anything like that or throw one of these guys for a James Conner, I don't know. Seems like no-brainer to me. But especially if you just need, like, an RB2 or, like, flex guys to throw in. I mean, he'll be as good and cheap as it gets. So, anyways, let's roll into a Best Ball Mania 5 draft. I've been doing some drafts, like puppies and stuff, getting warmed up, for best ball season, fantasy season. And the only 2 Best Ball Mania drafts I've done have been with Dan and one with Andrew. And the one with Andrew, like, we just hopped in. First draft of the year, just raw dogged it. Honestly, I don't even think we did too bad. Again, with Dan and I, kind of just raw dogged that one as well. And then in between, I've been just grinding some slow drafts, some fast drafts. But yeah, I definitely got some guys that I've been coming out like of every draft with. I'll talk about them when we're on the board here. Let's go ahead and enter this draft. But yeah, I don't know. I have not been getting any. I'm just gonna fix this. I have not been getting any early picks thus far. I've got 101. I'm trying to see what looks best here. I've got 101, like 1 or 2 102s. It's been pretty brutal. So let's see what we get, dude. As I say that, we get the 112. Like, I don't know. I've seen some stuff on Twitter of everyone complaining about being at the back of the draft. Like, I'm dead serious. I've been drafting in the back every time. Especially in fast drafts. I think like the only ones I got early picks were slow drafts, which just, you know, isn't nice and exciting because when you're in the fast draft, I mean, you're fully invested. A few badges in here, actually quite a few. I don't know. This is probably the hardest spot, and the issue is that like you kind of just have to pick 2 receivers here. If you don't pick 2 receivers at 12 and 13, you're just like throwing your buy in the fire right now. You know, like Amari Cooper will be your wide receiver too, which is, I mean, I don't even know if he'll make it around. Like, it's just the wide receiver avalanche right now. So we'll see what falls to us at 12 and 13. Like, I hope Gibbs is taken. Probably won't be. I don't know. I mean, it sucks having to take like Marvin Harrison, like Drake London so early, or whatever combo you want to make. But the issue is like because we're drafting so early, I can't even really reach. Like, there's no point of getting a unique combo. It's not like a snapshot tournament. You know, ADPs can flip around, so you know, there's just no point of trying to do like an Olave Adams, like try to get a little unique and stack it. Here's where the draft gets interesting. By the way, I think if I'm trying to see if I can see the chat. If we have one, I don't know. I'll figure that out. But if you want to say anything, any advice for the draft as well, go ahead and throw it in the chat. Like, we get stuck here with Jahmyr Gibbs, and it, like the issue is if I draft Jahmyr Gibbs, I'm just gonna get buried. Personally, I am gonna go. I'll go Marvin Harrison Jr. And I'm actually gonna go ahead and take Chris Olave here over Drake London. Olave's pretty easy to stack with Derek Carr. You know, Cousins obviously a good stack partner as well. But I mean, Derek Carr is literally free. No one else is gonna want him because I have Chris Olave. And if someone takes a naked Carr, they can have fun with that. I mean, they're just burning their buy-in at that point. But yeah, I don't know. I will get Olave. The second round's pretty ugly, but you know, again, like there's no point in taking a Waddle or anything right here. Even though I really like Waddle, you know, on paper less upside, but again, there's no point of reaching in these picks right now, or try to get guys that are like zeros. We'll talk a little more about that once we get to later in the draft. But yeah, again, we're drafting so early, and this contest goes until, you know, literally this. I think it's getting drafted until the NFL season starts, and or until it fills before. But I think they all kind of the contest close as, you know, all the entries come in anyways. So for the start of the season, take a look at the board. I don't know, like, that's we'll have to keep an eye on this guy here because he starts out RB, and it's not like those are bad picks just in general, but he's got no badge and start RB. I mean, you know, our next pick will tell us a lot if this guy is aware of what he's getting himself into or not. But we do have a lot of badges. Honestly, I think drafting with badges is like better than not, because, you know, if you're in like a badgeless room, you're setting up your stacks. Like I had a draft where I forget what player it was exactly, but maybe he took like my Tua or like Kyler. He took like my Kyler unstacked, and he already had like Mahomes and Stroud, no stacks at all. Like he was just loading up on Q. Like he just didn't understand, and I think he ended up drafting like 5 quarterbacks. It was just, you know, you just gotta pray in a room like that. The guy does not want or pick the quarterback that you need. Yeah, that was pretty annoying. All right, so coming back around, one thing I want to pull up here is like these week 15 games. So we took Cardinals and Saints. Let's see who they play. The reason I'm looking at these, I was listening to JJ Zach Reason's podcast there, and it's not a thought I've had before was, you know, can you get an edge trying to like for your advance rates, trying to at least keep these in mind. Not really specifically stacking for them, but like for example, I have the Cardinals already, and I really like the Patriots. So I mean, I think that works out pretty well later in the draft. Just want to see who the Saints play. They play the Commanders. Not huge on them, but except for Jaden Daniels. Okay. Again, like, I don't know. Kyron Williams is like pretty tempting to me. Jalen Hurts, of course, extremely tempting. I feel like this could be a late, kind of like we just take Kyler, Carr, and like Drake May kind of team. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm not even gonna. I'll take Kyron. If I had Niner, I mean, I don't know. Laporta's just too expensive. Not a big fan of picking him. We'll take Kyron. This puts me in a bit tougher situation. Like, I don't want to actually go and grab Lamar personally. As good of a pick as he is, but I might just like take Zay Flowers. Yeah. Try who they playing. I don't know. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna take Zay Flowers here. Best player on the board. And you know, I'm probably not gonna get any Houston players, but maybe something comes back around. Another option was just to take Tank and Zay Flowers there. But I don't know. Honestly, like pick 36, Kyron. I was just talking about him as a buy in Dynasty. Like, I mean, he's RB1 potential in the season. You know, he was RB2 in points per game last year. Of course, things can change, but I do think Corum's a good pick as well. He's been rising quite a bit. Let's see where he's going now. He's at pick 117. It's not like crazy investment. Of course, if Kyron goes down, he would be extremely valuable to your lineup. So I am drafting both these guys, but obviously just not on the same team. Yeah, so I actually got Tank falling in this draft. So this is the guy we need to keep our eye on here. He went Pittman, so he actually went a receiver. I'm interested to see. Actually, this guy started 2 RBs as well. Now he's playing catch up. This guy's got an interesting draft. He actually had London fall to 17. Got AJ Brown. Stacked him with Hurts. Not too bad. At least like the benefit of drafting last is like you get your picks back to back. I mean, that's the only thing I can really say as far as a benefit of it, because you know, not really a chance to get sniped between your 2 picks, which is awesome. Also, new sub. Dulot Miski. So thank you for the sub, sir. If you're watching, I'm curious. Oh, let's see. You're in the 3-hole. Okay, so you're in the 3-hole, dude. How the hell did you even find this channel? Like that doesn't even make sense. I hope you're still in here. D. Lou Tomsky. All right. Yeah, you gotta tell me right now. You're on the clock. This is. I don't even know. Like, do I know who you are, or did you just like see this randomly? Like, I need some answers here. D. Lou Tomsky. Because I got so many questions. If you just like were in this draft and you just randomly found the channel, like I don't even have it linked to anything. Random. Okay, I need more answers here. Like, I don't know you, but like, how did you find the channel? And like, how are you in my draft? Because if you just look up like my underdog name, I don't even know why you would. You know, I'm like, it's not even the same. It's not even the same name. That's why I'm shocked. You just said randomly. You're in every draft stream. Okay, hey, respect. I mean that. I don't know. I think is that just not like the most random thing ever. You're just in here, in the same draft. I mean, hey, thank you for the sub and thank you for. Okay, you queued the same time I entered. Okay. I was gonna say, like, I know people aren't, like, queuing up. It's not like there's a draft starting every second, but, I mean, that would be, like, crazy if you just randomly came across this and you were already in my draft, but I appreciate you clearing that up, so. There we go. Hey, we're drafting with someone now. Let's see your team here. I don't think I pulled up or looked at your team specifically. Okay, so you went Tyreek, Ayuk, Neighbors, Terry. Okay. So, I don't think we own any players on the same team, but obviously you got ahead on wide receivers, which is nice, and then you get to back it up with an elite tight end. Also nice. I'm interested to hear your thoughts on these quarterbacks here. These 3 elite ones coming off the board. Mahomes, Lamar, AR. I know Lamar fell pretty far in this one. I mean, the fact that I know he's not going all the time at 52. I think his ADP is 45. Oh, shit. I'm on the clock. Ugh. Can't go wrong with Jordan Addison. Fuck. No, Rome. I think Bears and Vikings play week 15. And I do like a lot of the Packers. Gives me another stack option. Yeah, let's just go Addison. All right. Whew. That was close. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I agree. Like, I really do not like pass. Like, I don't like pocket passers on underdog like Stroud. I mean, I clicked over here, and it's my worst nightmare seeing Stroud up there. I think Kyler Murray is like a great pick here, which you probably agree with. I mean, I already saw that you have taken Terry. If I had to guess, you probably like taking Terry, unless you're just like a big Terry fan, because Jaden Daniels, which is also another good, like obviously, great quarterback. But one thing I need to work on doing more, I don't know about you, is I love like this tier right here of quarterbacks. You know, I don't really care too much about Tua. I know I mean, I guess Goff technically had 4-point passing touchdowns, but these guys like in Dynasty for like 6 points, passing TDs are studs. But I mean, like T-Law and Herbert still have mobility, so I actually do like taking those guys. It's just I don't always end up with their weapons. I kind of need to go on my way to get them. So let's see. Came back around to you. Yeah, so you have a lot of quarterback options later. So you're probably going to want Jane Daniels. I don't know. We'll see what you do. You have nice funny beans. I'm assuming you're talking about Washington, like their offense. And I agree, if that's what you mean. Like, I'm extremely high on Jaden Daniels. I don't know if you play any Dynasty, but I do own a couple of Jaden Daniels in Dynasty. But, like, he's just that classic pick where, I mean, he could be, like, if you were to redraft it a year from now, he could be the 101, like, easily. Ahead of Caleb and Marv, just given his profile. So that's definitely a bet I like to make, and obviously in redraft, you have to love the profile. So this is like one of the first times I've taken Rome, just kind of out of panic there. I caught myself slacking. So let's see what you took. You grabbed your first RB in K9. And then, yeah, you take passers on underdog. Yeah, I mean, I can completely see that. I would be drafting the piss out of Goff and DraftKings, but the issue is obviously like for the stacking, like his weapons are just so expensive. I don't really like. I don't like Laporta's price. I don't like Jamison Williams at all, and Amon-Ra, you need like to be in the 5 hole to get him, or 6 hole. I'd take Jefferson over him personally, but yeah. So let's see what you got here. You come back around with Rice at 75, which, like, he's been creeping up a lot. And, I mean, I think he's, when you're in that, like, part of the turn, I think he's a great pick, personally. Like, people just... I think you're going to see him slipping up. I mean, I don't even know if he's going to get suspended at this point. Like, it's obviously possible, but if it is, it's probably no more than 4 to 6 games, so... You know, when he's your wide receiver 5, I think you can slip away with it for sure. Let's see who's coming back around. Also, is my audio good? Just let me know if it's not any good. Still need a quarterback, which I'm completely fine. Going late, thank God. Kyler Murray is still there, though. Love me some Kyler Murray. Would love to take Bowers in this build, but I'd have to really reach on him. Not a big fan of that. I'm just going to let that Q pick for me. You could use, yeah. Oh yeah, another thing about the Kyron pick is that was stacked. I wasn't even thinking about that when I picked that, actually. So I mean, I don't know. Yeah, actually, I could. Nah. This is tough right here. I think I'm just gonna take. You know what? Fuck it. We're gonna take Jonathan Brooks. I was gonna take Bowers, but like obviously I would take Ferguson over Bowers, but there's no way I was getting Dak. And I just don't care too much for Ferg if I don't have Dak or any Eagles. But I don't know. Jonathan Brooks is ADP. He's like one of the rookies I'd be willing to take here. because his ADP can rise. So at least like just keeping that in mind. You know, he's kind of one of those picks. I guess Bowers could too, but I was already would be reaching like a round on him, so it wasn't huge. It's quiet, huh? Okay, thank you for letting me know. I will try to make it better. Appreciate you for tuning in with the 1 or 2 other people in here, by the way. Just given that we are a new channel. So I need to work on getting some Packers. Just setting nice. So, yeah. Setting up nice, potentially, actually, for some Seattle players as well. Which I don't mind. Tyler Lockett's probably obviously going to be off the board, but some other ways I can play that. I hope, like, my mouse clicks are not getting in the stream. If they are, I'll have to figure that out. But for another day, I guess. Actually, I'm probably gonna... Let's see, you make your pick. Little Zamir White action behind ADP. Yeah, there you go. You get Daniels right on ADP. Let's check out your team now. I don't know. Looking like a pretty solid team. Elite QB. Or I would say this elite QB, honestly, with Daniels. I know it's not like technically, but I mean, just given the upside. Obviously, you've taken care of the wide receivers. And then, yeah, elite tight end as well. I don't know. I think it's a good start for you. I'm not a big K9 guy, but obviously in best ball, like I'm talking more for like Dynasty and stuff, but obviously in best ball, he is one of the guys that can just punch it in a bunch of times and break away. So I actually like in your squad. I want to check on this guy here. I don't know, yeah, like this guy, he's like wide receiver 3, Jameson Williams, and like Cortland Sutton. Looks like he's just paying the rake. maybe it's his first draft or something. I don't know. Or maybe that's just how he likes to draft. But you know, to go elite QB and tight end after taking 2 RBs is not ideal. Wow. I mean, Dak like actually is making it around. I could have had a 2 QB build with Dak. I would have loved that. A little sad about that. Okay, well, at least he went 1 pick before me. I'm not a big 2 QB guy in general. Do I have any Cowboys? I'm just going to let Myers go. Up to 6 receivers. I'm having a tough time here. I'm just going to take Dallas Goedert. Like, literally just... literally not correlated to anything. Just think he can outproduce ADP. I mean, not a great pick. There's really nothing I like there. Honestly, like, this is pretty disgusting little spot of the draft. I was thinking Brian Robinson also didn't really have any other ties to that game. But, you know, I feel pretty good about hitting RBs on my next turn here, so... wasn't too pushed to grab an RB there. And I needed a tight end, so obviously coming away with a tight end is solid there. Just give me one moment. So I'm just gonna call you Ski. You just be popping in everybody's like any draft you see or stream you see, or like you want like watching like the big best ball bros. What do you like to do there? Or do you like trying to join like drafts, like guys you see streaming? Kind of like here. Seattle Packers. Ski on the clock. Tajay, really like that pick. I mean, I was looking at him as well. Didn't have any Jags or Titans, so figure I like some other backs as well, just for my game stack purposes. But Spears, good. I should like basically all these running backs. Assuming no one else is probably in this stream from our draft, obviously. Really hoping for Sharp to come around, Condre. If not, could always go like a Marshawn Lloyd. What exact pick do I have? 132. Yeah, like I'm pretty good at receiver, but I really like Jalen Polk, like a lot. And hey, Ted, that's an issue because I want to come out every draft with him. But probably for this build, I will have to just force myself to take a running back. So you started watching the main streamers in this year's like 10 times the amount. Like 10 times the amount of streamers, or like you're playing 10 times the amount? I don't think that's what you mean. Jahan Dotson might slip around to you. Probably not. I gotta survive one more pick here. That's it. Chill, buddy. Alright. Shard makes it around. I'm a huge Condre Miller guy in Dynasty. Probably going to take him here as well. Although, like, I need Marshawn Lloyd for the game stack. Like, that's a... I mean, I literally just have Addison. I don't know if I need that bad. I'd rather just stack the offense than the bring back. Let's get one more here. I think that works out fine. I get another Saint. I do have Jacoby on the bring back. Who do they play? Yeah, they play the Commanders. I don't have any Commanders, but I mean, yeah, I'm just looking. That's a week 50. That doesn't really matter at all. Just wanted to keep an eye, try to remember some of those games. Okay, you're playing 10 times more this year. How many drafts have you knocked out so far then? And are you cranking out obviously DraftKings? What's the other one? It's like I was gonna say I was gonna say Grinder, but like I know I know that's not what it is. What the hell is that? What is that website called? Picker? Like I can't remember. It's something like that with like an at the end. I don't even remember what it is. I was about to say grind. I mean I know you're probably on Grinder too, but no, I don't know. You gotta tell me if you know what that website is. I think it's the one with the tight end premium, and you there's no like playoffs. It's just all regular season stuff. I think. Drafters. There you go. Yeah, I mean, as if that was like a hard name to remember. 250 drafts in. Okay, yeah. I mean, you're way more deeper into me. Like, I basically just started drafting. I'd say like 3 weeks ago, maybe a month ago. I did some big board stuff, but like unfortunately, I was looking back at my big board teams, and it was like all Braille and Allen, and it was like all Kirk Cousins, Addison. I think I had like Kirk Cousins, Addison in like 100% of my drafts. So, not amazing. Those teams are all dead, but is what it is. Live and you learn. Yeah, drafters. I don't know. You playing on any drafters, or do you just do DraftKings and Underdog? This is like my favorite way to build an RB room here. I don't know. I gotta see what your running back is, but just like ambiguous backfields like crazy. I know people don't like Kyron, but I got him at like pretty good value, 6 picks behind ADP, as he's been falling. I gotta check out your team after I pick. Oh, you do all three? Okay. Any with London. I'm trying to think like what you meant by that. Like how I drafted any London. Oh yeah. Sorry. I see what you mean. For like the big board. I don't think so. I don't think I had any London. Like he's pretty expensive, and he had no. Well, I don't know. I should remember his price tag exactly, but give me a moment here. I'm kind of just saving my last receiver pick. It's just a lot of stuff on the board. I love Hunter Henry at his current price. I'm going to take Hunter Henry. I don't have any Giants. Like, I don't know. Maybe you have your eye on Vidal, but I've been looking at Vidal personally. I think he just makes sense. I mean, like, literally no game stack or anything, but, like, none of these guys are game stacked anyways. Like, he might not play a snap. He also might just completely destroys ADP. I don't like taking a lot of these rookie running backs. I don't know about you right now, especially for, like, Best Ball Mania. But at least, like, if I am going to take Vidal, I don't know. He's, like, the one guy I probably would take right now. Obviously, like, Ray Davis and stuff like that, too. I really like Ray Davis. But, I mean, these other guys behind him, like the Tracy's and stuff, like, we don't even know if they're backups yet. So, I'm not a big fan of picking them personally. But I kind of had every other position taken care of. I normally like 3 tight end, 3 quarterback. Don't really need an elite, but, I definitely like getting, like, a Kyler Murray or Jaden Daniels, and then... you got Trey McBride. I like getting any of those top tight ends. Didn't come out with one this draft. So you went. Let's just take a look at your actual team. You went Purdy Daniels, Zamir Tajay. Okay. So let's see here again. So we still got 50, but or sorry, not 50. I don't know, 5 more rounds. I'm looking at your stacks. You have, I think, just Washington, Atlanta. Maybe you're not a big game stat guy. Like week 17 guy. If you got any thoughts on that, let me know. Are you big, week 17, bro? Or like, do you try to look into like other weeks, like 15 or 16, like just try to get there? Also, another thing, like I saw like week 16's like Arizona and Carolina, so I kind of like that. I was thinking of getting another Carolina receiver there, but I did not. So you said, okay, if you have 2-3 legit starters, it's good. And yeah, you do mostly underdog and DK. What do you prefer between underdog and DK? Because I don't even draft on DK. Like I'm in Canada, you can, but like every time I go to do it, like I was getting an error, so I kind of just gave up. Like I tried like 5 times. So I just never signed up. It just wouldn't let me. Have to let me know if I'm missing out. Yeah. Okay, yeah. When you start 5 wide receivers. Okay, I see. You have teams that are heavily stacked. This was just a hard draft to do it. I mean, totally get that. Sometimes it's not how it works out. But also, I mean, there's nothing wrong with just taking best players if you don't want to like completely reach. I've definitely had some drafts and some certain slots where there's just like, I mean, there are some correlations, but like maybe I just really, really don't like the player, and plus it's like a reach, like it would have to be kind of a combo like that. Oh boy, I'm coming back up again. I was keeping my eye on Jalen McMillan for that stack. Ooh, love some Noah Fant as well. And then I have like a lot of bailouts at quarterback. So I'm fine doing that. I honestly think the 5 running backs is fine with this build. I'm definitely not rocking 2 tight ends just personally for advanced rate stuff. But, I mean, this is like kind of it's definitely a thin running back room. I could think about like not taking a Drake May or JJ McCarthy and trying to add another running back, but like, what is that running back really gonna do for me? I don't know. Probably not much. I don't know. I added the Green Bay Chicago little mini stack there. Actually no, I did get a let's see. Why do I always forget who the Chargers play the Pats? That's right. So I am gonna. That's why Vidal was a little tempting there, but I always get the Giants and Patriots mixed up for some reason in their stacks. I always keep thinking they play the Chargers for some reason, but oh no. You ought to draft a Stafford. So were you gonna rock just a 2 QB build, by the way? Like obviously you've invested pretty highly in Daniels and Purdy. So like I think generally like the play is just to go 2 QB. Obviously that kind of my bad for distracting you there. Just an unstacked Stafford. He must have been like pretty far behind ADP, man. I mean, at least you got like a decent value. Let me check that out. Okay, there you go. You're on top of it this time. I mean, hey, you got him 20 picks behind ADP. He is not stacked at all, which you hate to see. It could be worse. At least you got he's like a bring back for like the Trey McBride. I mean, hey, could maybe be worse. Just tell yourself that. Yeah, 20 picks behind. I don't know. I mean, call it a bad auto pick. At least it wasn't like some completely dead player. Maybe he helps you just like randomly throw a couple spike weeks up if you have like an injury or something at QB. I don't know. Let's see what build you're gonna go for here though. Just in general, you're probably gonna go what, like a 2, 6, 7, 3. Probably would have been your build. Little Tracy action. So okay, you tell me what you think of this. By the way, just how I'm playing. Any like when I've only done a few best ball mania drafts. I don't know how many you're doing, because like obviously, mostly just like lower stakes like puppies and stuff, where you just get the snapshot and it's completely fine to like reach on people or like take your shot on rookies. Do you like trying to like play this now? Because like you obviously can get a discount on like say like Tracy if he gets good camp reports, but if he doesn't win the backup job, which like I actually kind of like Eric Gray, but he's not a world beater. Like I don't know, you are risking a 0, but like there's also like the chance where you get like a major discount. But I don't know if it's really that big if he goes from like round 17 to like round, I don't know, like 15, 14, and so on. It's kind of interesting, but let me know if you got any thoughts on that, specifically with running backs, because like you have to win the depth chart in order to. Okay, here we go. I'm a big. Yeah, I'll play more into this Patriots. Derek Carr. I would have totally taken Polk earlier, but I was pretty heavily invested in receiver, and there was like McMillan and some other guys. But I don't know. Yeah, I'm a little wary like taking in Best Ball Mania rookie running backs. Like Vidal was. I mean, I took 2 of them actually. Vidal, I don't know. He's more just like he was a Charger. I like the Pats games, and I don't know, whatever. He seemed like a fine 5th running back. If you just stop there, but I'm a little bit okay. What was the question? The question was like in Best Ball Mania specifically. Like, do you like trying to like get a running back like Tracy, or it doesn't have to be Tracy. It could be insert any rookie running back in this range. Like Braylon, oh, I guess we know Braylon Allen's probably the backup. But like anybody where like we don't even know if they're the backup yet. So like they could get good reports and like their ADP can rise significantly, or they could just like be at 0. Like let's just say Eric Gray beats out Tracy, and Tracy's like literally just a 0. I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying that's gonna happen, but there obviously is like some risk when you're taking these running backs late that aren't guaranteed backups. So I don't know. I just want to see if that is anything that concerns you in general. That's kind of concerns me when I'm drafting this early. I don't know. Like I really like Estime, but like I'd rather take Estime and like the puppies rather than like taking him here. Like I do think he's gonna have a decent role, but like I don't know. I don't mind drafting him in like round 16 if he starts getting good reports. So yeah, I mean you like the rookies. yeah, I mean, yeah, me too. Like if I get some like solid starters, of course, yeah, I like the rookies too, but I'm also just trying not to draft zeros if I'm doing any like best ball mania. Let's see here. What was our final team? Yeah. I mean, of course, playing for upside. Certainly what you want to do. I don't know. Honestly, I kind of like my team here. I'll take your look at yours in a second. I mean, this is how I like to play tight end generally. I know elite tight end's like pretty good this year, but if it just doesn't fall to me like how I want it to, I'm kind of just fine with playing it like this. Hoping for some touchdowns. I don't know. I mean, technically looking at these names, it's not even like that attractive. Like I kind of hope Marvin Harrison is a stud, obviously, like whatever. But I don't know. I mean, there's definitely I'm fine with that receiver room, like just being 7 guys there, and then like quarterbacks, I'm obviously fine with these guys. Kyler, I think is gonna smash. Kyron, I thought was a good pick at ADP, and then I mean, literally, I could be like taking damn near zeros like at week 1 for running back too, but I do think the upside in this backfield is pretty insane. I mean, like literally all these guys, if I advance or something, could be alive and like starting in some way, shape, or form by week 14. So I don't know. That's kind of how I like to play it in such a big tournament. Let's see what you're saying. Yeah. I mean, totally agree. Which is like again why I like Brooks, Vidal, Odunze, McMillan in my draft. You pretty much I think every best ball mania winning team has had like multiple rookies, but like at least obviously like one rookie in the draft. Like you're really not gonna win a draft more than likely without a quarterback. So yeah, you kind of got screwed on the Stafford pick, but maybe it helps your advance rate. But yeah, again, Jaden Daniels a really good combo there. And then K9 Zamir. I'm having a tough time thinking what I should think was Zamir. Like at least it's half PPR. You got ADP. Like I like that at least you got like, both these guys from behind ADP. Actually, all 3 of these guys. Dowdle seems like a solid pick to me. I actually have like 0 Dowdle. Of course, like I only have done so many drafts. Like I don't know, like 20 drafts or something. So, and I'm in the process of a few, but like, I don't know. I think Dowdle's actually a pretty decent pick. Tracy, of course, like I was just saying. I mean, who knows? He could be a 0. He could be the starter mid-season right now. So it's kind of like a risky pick, but of course, upside in weeks and round 17 that you need. Yeah, your wide receiver room is like miles better than mine. I just saw this Greg Dortch pick. I didn't, dude. It's so funny. Like, if I were to not take, okay, I guess I could take a running back for that build, but like, I actually love taking Greg Dortch, and I guess he is getting drafted. Like he has a ADP of 209 now. I don't know. He just like wasn't getting drafted last time I checked, but I actually love taking Dortch, especially you probably like him on DraftKings where it's like full PPR and 20 rounds. I don't know where he would go there, but I love the Dortch. And this tight end room calls me. I'm a big Sonat guy in Dynasty. So, yeah, I mean, I think you have a really solid draft here. I guess like the only thing missing is obviously the correlations, but like you mentioned, if they weren't there, you kind of just got to roll with the punches. You did get Washington. And, wait. I mean, you did get Mooney for the stack, but other than that, it's just Stafford and McBride. I mean, whatever. It's good camp news on Dortch. Yeah, I actually own a bunch of Dortch in Dynasty, which, again, like, we're mostly a Dynasty channel, but of course, like making some best ball content because it's the off season. I love Dortch in Dynasty because he's literally free. Like, he's not on waivers or anything, but you can get him for free. And obviously all my leagues are like full PPR. I love Greg Dortch, and I think like you can actually start him in like, start tens. I think you'll actually make your lineup in best ball leagues. I mean, I really like the pick on Dortch, and especially on DraftKings. Yeah, I mean that would be even better with 20 rounds, in full PPR. But of course on underdog. Definitely someone I should have considered going a little heavier on Kyler. It's just that Kyler is already a rusher, so getting his like main pass catcher, I'm fine with. Like generally, I'd want James Conner. I guess I just wasn't on that side of the board. I didn't really think about it when he was coming around to me. But anyways, yeah, I like your team overall. I want to take a look at one other guy's team here. This guy here. How did his team? So he started with 2 RBs. He drafted 6. He just is riding Pitts, basically. I mean, I don't even... Jatavian Sanders, like, news is that Ian Thomas is the top tight end in Carolina, so I'm holding off Jatavian Sanders, personally. I mean, his receiver room is complete dust. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if clearly you and I know better than to, pass up receivers in the top 7 rounds there. Otherwise, your team will look like that. But, anyways, man, hey, should have went with Rwandale over Dortch for the Falcons. I don't know. Honestly, I'd rather just probably have Dortch. I know that, like, technically Rondale on paper is the better pick, but, I mean, Dortch actually scores fantasy points when he's on the field. So, can't complain with that. But, anyways, hey, that will conclude the stream. I appreciate you coming in here and, drafting. Obviously made it much more fun there. And, we're obviously a new channel here. Normally I'm streaming with 1 or 2 other guys, Dan and Andrew, but it was a lot of fun having you in here, and I thought it was pretty funny just getting stream sniped here. But hey, 2-3 pass catchers on Atlanta for the bring back on Washington. I see. Just for week 17 correlation. Jeez. Yeah, hey, good draft, man. I hope to see you in here again. We stream every like Wednesday night. So if you ever see us on here, I don't know if you play any Dynasty at all. Obviously you're a big best ball guy. But definitely tune in or come by and say hi if you ever see us up again, alright? Anyways, man. You'll be on next time? Alright. Next Wednesday we stream, and then I just like pop random videos up in the meantime. But pretty busy with work at the moment, so just trying to get like 1 up a week. But anyways, man, yeah. It's good meeting you, and thanks for tuning in. Peace.